What's the genesis of these guys, the Yakuza? Were they around in medieval Japan already, like running seedy
You know,
brothels and knifing samurai in the back, or are the Yakuza a much more
I
modern
mean,
phenomenon?
they claim to have been around, for ages. It's like, the firemen of the town, are the peacekeepers, are sort of vigilante groups. But really, what you can say definitively is that from like starting around 1870, 1880, the first real organized crime group was the Aizuko Tetsukai in Kyoto. And they were basically gamblers, gambling federations. So they would set up places where you could gamble, and they would run the house, and they'd run it, fairly reasonably, because if you're not ripping off the customers, if nobody can win, nobody's going to come. And then if you're also running gambling, then of course people run out of money, because that's what happens with gamblers. Then you start loan sharking, right? So the genesis of them is gamblers, federations of gamblers, which are called bakuto. And then there's a other group of yakuza, and the distinctions sort of vanished over time, which are called tekiya, which are people that are basically street merchants, traveling street merchants. They run the festivals. They sell their wares on the side of the road. They used to be very common in Japan, sort of kind of like street vendors. And because street vendors have to deal with cops and people, and you know and thieves, they sort of created an association of themselves to protect themselves and their business interest, and give them some negotiating power, because united, you know they can deal with the town hoodlums that might rip off their stuff or try and charge them money to set up business there. The easiest one to understand is the Yamaguchi-gumi, which was founded in 1915 in Kobe. So, which is was kind of an association of dock workers and temporary staffers. So they basically controlled the docks and provided local labor, and then set up as a corporation as well, and then also sort of began providing security services and you know racketeering and extortion, and that is the antecedent, not the antecedent, that is the ancestor of the modern day yakuza.